Hello, mathematicians. Today you will create problems in which you will add some tens and ones to a two-digit number using blocks on a place value map. You will also record your work with expanded notation. Let's skip count by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. 10 rods equal 100 units, or we can replace it with a 100 block or flat. Today we will use a mat with hundreds. How would I show 143? I can use a 100 flat or 100 block, 4 tens or 4 rods to represent the 40 and the 143, and 3 ones from the 143, 3 1-unit blocks. So you're going to spin the spinner twice to see how many tens and how many ones you can make to make a two-digit number. So if you spin the first time, you're going to put how many rods of 10 you're going to have drag here, and then they spin the second time and you're going to see how many ones unit blocks, 1-unit blocks you're going to drag here. This student spun twice and he got she got a 4 and a 7. So they put 4 rods here and 7 ones here. So their number is 47. Now they're going to decide how many tens and ones they will add to see how many they will have in total. These cards have the plus 10 and plus 1, and they're going to drag them here to see how many tens and how many ones they will add. This student dragged 2 cards of 10 and 4 cards of plus 1. So that means that they represented their number with 2 rods. They dragged 2 rods of 10 because there's 2 here. And then they dragged 4 1-unit blocks because there's 4 plus 1 cards. What number is that? That's right, that's a 24. So if I write it in expanded notation, we know that 47 is the same as 40 plus 7 equals 47. And 24 is the same as saying 20, just like we have here, plus 4 equals 24. Now, if I have to add this all together, I would say 47 plus 24. But what we can do is we can add the tens and then add the ones and then add those two together. That sounds easier. How much is 40 plus 20? That's 60. And 7 plus 4? Well, let's see. I dragged the 4 blocks of, here before, we had the 4 blocks of, the 4 rods of tens, and then we had 2. So we put it all together, that's 6 here. Now, if we go back and we have the 7 ones and then we have the 4 ones, all together here, that's 11. But we can group these 10 ones. Can we exchange it for something? That's right, we can exchange it for 1 more rod of these. So I'm going to exchange these 10 ones, I'm going to take them away, and I'm going to exchange it for 1 rod. And instead of having 6 rods here, how many will I have? That's correct, I'll have 7 rods. So if I have 7 rods and 1 block, unit 1 block, how much is that? 71. So let's review. 60 plus 11 is the same as saying 60 plus 10 plus 1. And then I add the 10, 60 plus 10 is 70, and then I add the plus 1, and that equals 71. So now it's going to be your turn. You're going to go to Seesaw and you're going to open the activity called adding tens and ones, and you're going to create your own two-digit number by spinning the spinner twice. First time you're going to put the tens, second time you're going to put the ones. Then you're going to add cards of 10 and plus ones to create your second number and see how much you're going to add. You're going to create one or two problems. And you're also going to show your problem with place value cards, such as this ones. You're going to also show your problem with a 100 chart, or you can also use the number line. If you spun a 35, actually a 36, my mistake, 36, then I would drag 3 rods, because that's 3, 30, and then I would drag 6 1-unit blocks under the ones, that's 6. And then if I add 10 cards, that's 30. And if I add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus ones, that's 5 ones here. That means I have 35 plus 36. How can I add that? I'm going to write it in expanded notation. 35 is the same as 30 plus 5, and 36 is the same as 30 plus 6. Now what do I do with this? I put them all together, the tens and the ones together. The tens, 30 and 30, that gives me 60, and 5 plus 6, that gives me 11. But 11, I can write it as a 10 and a 1, so I can add that 10 to the 60, and that's 70, and that 1 that's left over goes in the 71. I can also use a hundreds charts. I started with a 35 and I can skip count to add the 36. I can go 1, 10, I can add 10, that's 45, another 10, that's 55, another 10, that's 65, and that's 30. And then if I add 6, I'm going to jump to the right because that's plus 1, 6 times. 65, that's 66, second time 67, my third jump 68, my fourth jump 69, my fifth jump 70, and then 71. Or I could also use the place value cards, 35 and 36, 30 and 30, that's 60, 5 and 6, that is 11, and then 60 plus 11, that's 71. Finally, I can show my answer in a number line. What do you notice? What number did I start with? I started with 35, and then I'm going to add the 36 using jumps of 10, and in this case, a jump of 5 and a 1. So I add 35, I add 45, I do another jump, that's 55, I do another jump, that's 65, so that I've added 30, and then the 6, I broke it into a 5 and a 1. 70 and 1. Why do you think they broke it down into a 5 and a 1? Was that going to be easier to land to a friendly number like 70? Now it's your turn, mathematicians. Remember to open your Seesaw activity, adding tens plus ones, and show your work using expanded notation. Good luck!